want to get right back to the telephone lines. We mentioned that Joanne has been patiently waiting through the break. Hi, Joanne. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good. So I'm ascertaining here, is your ex-husband a member, works at Fort Gordon or a member of the military?
Well, prior military.
Okay, super. And what is your question for Ashante?
Hi, Joanne.
So my question, hi, Ashanti, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So my question is, can military disability be calculated in as income for child support? Because I was told by one attorney that it cannot, and I was told by another attorney that in the state of Georgia, it does calculate in as part of child support. So I was trying to get some clarification on that.
Yes, so in Georgia, military disability payments definitely calculate in as far as child support, and so does Social Security disability payments. And so a court will use that as income when calculating child support for children. So the answer to your question is yes. It doesn't, as far as in a divorce, when you're talking about property and division of property, but it does not. But for children and child support, yes, it does. And so that may be where the other attorney got that other answer from.
Ashanti, so like I said, I used to work in child support back in the day, and so
Enforcement. Were you the enforcer?
No, I definitely was not. No,
okay.
Nor should I have been.
Just checking.
But you know, the term is arrears. If you're in arrears, that means you're behind.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how COVID has affected our world and all that. So, has there been with housing and everything, the bill has kind of stopped for a while. How is that with child support, and have the arrears had a pause, or how does that work?
No, I mean, so, let me say this, and you work for child support, so every situation, a lot of times with child support cases, they're different.
Sure.
When we're talking about child support recovery and the state actually, going to child support court and the state actually recovering that money, I have not seen any pauses in arrears based on COVID. Right. I think there have been situations where case managers have tried to, help out people who are definitely having hard times to figure out other ways, as far as like the fatherhood program and things of that nature. Right. When we're dealing with child support. But there have not been any pauses. But, what I tell people is that you could always ask for a modification. So say, for example, if your income has changed and you're no longer able to pay the same amount for child support because you're not working, because you were laid off of your job because of COVID, or there's some other issue due to COVID and you paying your child support, you can always petition the court for a modification of child support if there has been a substantial change in the circumstances as far as your financial circumstances.
Sure.
Real quick, back in the day, it used to be a percentage of your income that you would have to pay. Has that changed over time?
Well, so now the way they do child support is there is the mother's income that she makes monthly gross before taxes. Fathers as well. There's a calculation. There's a calculator. It's a lot simpler. And so you put those incomes in the calculator, and there are other issues that may affect it as far as whoever's paying for health care, as far as if there's someone paying for child care or after school care. And so all of that goes into a calculator, and it comes up with the sum. And what's interesting about it is what I show people is that it shows what the mother or the non-custodial parent would pay for child, or should pay for child support. But it also shows if things flipped and it was a custodial parent who had to pay child support, it shows what their portion would be. And so it's a portion that looks like that. And so there are different factors that go into it. But, I tell people, the numbers don't lie. Whatever is in there is what's in there. And there are ways to deviate child support, of course. And that's why a lot of times people hire attorneys. But it's a calculation. You have to put the numbers in and see what happens.
People sometimes they have those side hustles, right? That's right.
That's true. People have side hustles, yes.
Yeah, but like you said earlier, it's a contract.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
there could be extra layers to it.
Sure, and like Shantae's talked about a lot on the show. I mean, it's. I think the biggest thing to know is you follow the rules, and then if there's a problem, then you petition the court to change the rules. But if you don't follow the rules and you're gonna be held in contempt, like Ashanti said, that means you're in trouble. So don't do that. Follow the rules, and if you need help, the judge will change it.
And if we can summarize, don't be in trouble.
Don't be in trouble.
Don't be in trouble.